We've all heard those crazy stories about insane deals on mythical guns that are just super cheap. Well, this story happened to me. Hope you enjoy. Hey, so if you follow my paintball podcast, you know that my absolute favorite paintball story of all time was playing at Wasaga Beach Canadian Amateur Open back in the late 90s. And I was using an Automag. I just was. I'm an autococker guy. I've always been an autococker guy. And I just love autocockers. I sold the mag, unfortunately. I wish I hadn't, but I did. And I've always wanted to get another one back. I didn't like their barrels, but nowadays you can get them with autococker threads and removable feed necks, things like that. And I wanted one. So I wanted an older classic one, and I've just already been looking around. I mentioned that on my Facebook page a long time ago. Blaine. I mentioned that on my Facebook page a long time ago, and a few people offered, but I just wasn't in the position to be able to afford a new gun. I just can't. Money's tight, lots going on. I'm sure you understand. So I have just sort of been looking. Then out of the blue, one day I walk into a pawn shop. Well, buy and sell store, but same thing. And there's an Automag on the wall for $40. So I've decided to name it Deuce, and here's Deuce's story.
So this is what Deuce looked like when I bought it. As you can see, it is not in perfect condition. There are scratches, there are gouges, there are wood screws in it. It came with an EMAG valve, which I think was kind of neat. And it came with a remote hose, which is going to my son for his invert mini.
So the question you're all asking yourself is, well, it's all fine, well and good to get a $40 mag. I mean, after all, it's worth that in parts alone. But how does it shoot? Like, did it work? Well, I tried to find the video of me gassing it up for the first time, and unfortunately I put it on Facebook only, and I didn't put it on YouTube, or I didn't put it on my phone and save it. So I didn't have I don't have the video of it gassing up. But when I gassed it up through the remote hose that came with it, it gassed up and it shot beautifully. Now, the remote hose was leaking like crazy, which is probably why I got a deal on it. But it gassed up and it shot. So I started going on the search to try and track down a proper bottom line, because I don't like remote hoses. I don't like remote hoses at all. I'm not a fan of stocks by any stretch of the imagination. Put the tank underneath. Stocks just get in the way. I don't like them. That stock was the first thing to come off within the first 5 minutes or so of me owning it. So I got it up. Then there was a question of trying to track down a bottom line that would fit. Because of the old 45 grip frame, all the bottom lines that I had just weren't fitting properly. They were all creating this like weird edge kind or angle kind of thing. They just didn't fit. So I had this god-awful orange bottom line that I took off of an Tippmann 98 a long time ago. They'd painted this Tippmann 98 up, like they'd wrapped it in tape, then they spray painted it in this nuclear orange. Anyway, I kept the bottom line because you never know when you might need one as a spare or whatever, and that was all I could find. Here, let me show you what it looks like. Seriously, look at this. How nasty is that? So this is all I had at the time to put on Deuce to get it to test to shoot. But the whole the whole model 98 was taped up and painted like that. I mean, it still works, so obviously I kept it because you never know when you're going to need a part, but wow, just gross. So I got that bottom line on it, and I got it gassed up and it's holding air, and it was finally time to take it to the field to test drive it. Now, I was using a 48 cubic inch Steely 3000 tank. I'd never shot it before, so I was hoping for the best. I just knew it held air. It was going to need a little work. Now, it has the ULT trigger on it, so it's got an ultra light trigger pull. And yeah, so myself and I had a special expert try it. When my special expert tried it, I think that it ran out of air and started to starve or choke. I'm not sure. So when I was shooting it shot fine. But the minute I handed it to the Absolute Pro, unfortunately, it didn't quite work as well as possible. It is going to be going to Jake, the Automag Whisperer at Bearded Works. So this thing will be shooting as good as can be. So here is the video of it being shot with paint for the very first time. All right, let's give this thing a fill. Okay, Gordon?
Okay.
Let's see how she takes. Guess it helps if I turn. Oh, no. So you do it like that. Now it's on me. That's not bad. I thought it was shooting awesome. I absolutely loved it. So, here is my favorite expert giving it a try, my son. What do you think, Corden? What do you think of the mag?
Good.
You like it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it shot amazing. I really enjoyed how it shot. Jake at Bearded Works is trying to talk me out of using the ultra light trigger, the ULT. He says that the regular triggers work much better. And I don't doubt him. I mean, if anybody knows, he does. But yeah, so I loved how it felt though. Maybe Jake and I are going to have to talk. I mean, just because the other one is easier and more reliable, I don't know if I want to give up this feel, because it just shot amazing. It felt amazing. I was really enjoying using the mag. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm sure you want to know what Deuce looks like now. But before we do that, I would really like to show you Blackie. And Blackie is my 97 autococker. And Blackie's what went down when I had to use that mag. And Blackie's a big part of most of my paintball experience. I know I wear a lot of purple nowadays because of my work with the I Remember Foundation, the Devener Expendables, and Destiny Midwest. Shout out to you all. But Blackie has been black and purple since the late 90s. So, yeah. Anyway, I'd like to show you Blackie. And then after I show you Blackie, I will show you what Deuce looks like now. Speaking of Deuce, courtesy flush. This is Blackie. Now, I've had Blackie since 1997. And everything about this thing has been repaired or replaced except for the back block. Every screw, everything has all been replaced, polished, upgraded, anything. So now this back block, not back block, my apologies, this beaver tail, this is not the original beaver tail that I've been having for the last 20 years. And I just put this bottom line on to get rid of the drop. These grips are teak. They were handmade by my late father. And yeah, I love them to death. Yes, Air America, baby. So, yeah, by the way, the reason why I don't have Air America tanks on my grip or my gun right now is because I am waiting on the new stuff coming out from Immortal Air, and that will be going on these. But this is Blackie, and this is why I call the mag Deuce, because I normally name my guns after the color, and this is already black and purple, so I can't very well name it. This is the gun that went down, so I was using a mag at Wasaga Beach that one day, and since, yeah, it's awesome though, isn't it? 1997 autococker. So this, everybody, is how Deuce looks now. First of all, got to get a nice zoom in on those beautiful push-net goggles that match. And of course, we couldn't go any farther without talking about that beautiful purple Spire 3. But this is what Deuce looks like now. Purple hose, actual Colt 45 grips. I have a vintage purple teardrop barrel that I have been holding on to forever. Now, oh, plane's going over. This barrel back doesn't actually fit the tip. This is just on for media purposes. Now, I'm not going to be keeping the Tac-One body for very long. I have traded that with a good friend of mine, and Jake from Bearded Works is going to be putting a all purple body on this, which I'm pretty excited about. But this is how Deuce is sitting right now, and I think it looks pretty awesome.
And there you have it. There is my very first YouTube episode all about my $40 AirGun Designs Automag that I picked up at a pawn shop about a month ago. Thank you all so much for following along this far. I do apologize for the mugshot, but I've run out of lighting, and the only place I have decent lighting is in the bathroom, and I'm not going back in there for another 3 days. It needs to air out. So, thank you all so much for enjoying the video. A couple things I want to touch on before we go. First and foremost, I do have a regular podcast. It's audio only. You can find it on iTunes, you can find it on Spotify, and you can find it on Google Play Music. There are 22 episodes. I have Bud Orr, I have John Amadea, I have Marcus Davis, I have so many cool people. Oh, Don Mills, can't forget Don Mills. So many cool people. So if podcasts are your thing, definitely go try checking it out there. Also, I have a Patreon account. If you are one to support Patreon, please check out my page. I don't have any special features on it yet, but they are coming soon. I am working my absolute best to do as much as I can. So please, if you enjoyed this video, smash like, subscribe, leave a comment. Please leave comments. The more comments you leave, maybe I can create something new and funny in the future for you guys, because audio podcasts are my thing, but I just had to give this a whirl. I wanted to try, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So please, constructive criticism, compliments, heck, even if you hate me, I don't care. Give me a post, or give me a comment, smash that like button, and yeah, please subscribe. I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Keep your paint dry and play with passion, everybody.